Hello everybody, it's Stephen Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief for May the 2nd, 2011. And you know what, today's a really auspicious day here in Canada.
Why is it an auspicious day in Canada?
It's election day. Whoopee. But actually, it's actually, to be honest, if the Conservatives get in, watch for a lot of crap to happen for our internet world up here. It's going to be scary. Because they're advocating monitoring, or for ISPs to be able to keep logs for, I think it's 12 months to 18 months that the police can access without a warrant.
That's a major invasion of anybody and everybody's privacy.
Well, that's what...
I mean, look, it's been passed pretty much universally everywhere, right, at this point. That, say, for example, your email is... subject to the same protections as an ordinary letter. If they're keeping logs of everything, then that's I don't know, maybe it's not the right association. But I mean, isn't this going to cost ISPs?
Oh yeah, the ISPs don't want it. The ISPs don't want it, but the government's going to be. It's part of Bill C-61, I believe.
Yeah, but I mean, how is this being pushed in? I mean, everywhere else. You know, ISPs are just saying, look, we're just not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not absorbing that cost or passing it on to other people. I mean, government pass laws like this, and they seem to think that it'll cost absolutely nothing.
Yeah. But
in this day and age, you should be trying to promote a digital economy rather than stifle it.
Yeah, but understand too, this is the government that was one of the prime motivators between ACTA, behind ACTA. I know. So they don't care about, and they're also the government that said to...
Well, you see, here's the issue. Here is the issue, right? The people that are pushing for this, the question is who's paying them?
The U.S. entertainment industry.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's my next question, right? Why doesn't Google just buy them? Seriously, I read a post, I can't remember who it was, but a couple of days ago, maybe somebody can ring in and let us know, 251-281-8730 or podcast at WinExtra.com. Somebody basically did the math and was questioning how the entertainment industry could have so much power considering their size and monetary value. They reckon that Google could just buy them outright. That Larry Page or Sergey Brin could buy the music industry outright, out of their own personal fortunes, not mind anything else.
But yeah, so no, that's what we're facing with our election today, and chances are, by the poll numbers, it's going to be either another minority government or it'll be
Here's the deal, right? And the tech industry doesn't seem to get this, okay? But if we want a better future, if we want a better internet, and we want net neutrality, and we want all this stuff, so that the internet will be the way we want it, so that it will be, good for business, good for consumers, good for growth, good for the economy, then, tech companies need to stop putting their petty differences aside and create an organized lobby.
Yeah.
Because now, I'm against lobbying to begin with because, it's people paying money. But in a world where it exists, the entertainment industry has a marvelously organized and well-funded lobby. And that is why they have so much power disproportionate to their monetary value or their actual worth.
Just as a side note,
if the tech industry pull its collective thumbs out of its arse, we could change the world for the better and all have a better internet.
Just as a side note, I saw it go flashing by on Twitter. Robert Scoble now has been given a Windows Phone 7. He's asking for best apps to put on it. So here's a point to our listeners. Do you have any suggestions for Mr. Robert Scoble as to what apps he should run on his brand spanking new Windows Phone 7, which I'm sure comes with Noto? let us know at podcast@winextra.com or give us a ring at 251-281-8730 and let us know what we should suggest for Mr. Scoble. Anyway, on to the news. Microsoft looks to be offering a Gears of War beta codes to share with your friends. There's a bit of a hoop you have to run through to get them, but you can get up to 5 codes to share.
How did I not see this? Even looking at the show notes pre-show, how did I miss this?
I don't know.
So simply complete any of the tasks below, and on May 8th you can receive up to 5 codes to share. Purchase any Gears of War content from Xbox Live Marketplace. That includes game add-ons, games from Games on Demand, and Avatar Gear. Well, in my case, it would have to be Avatar Gear because I have everything else. Spend 20 more hours playing the beta from today on.
There you go.
The beta.
Oh.
And I don't have 20 hours.
But
Call of Duty 3 map pack is coming out tomorrow, and I've gotten in like maybe half an hour Call of Duty time in the last couple of weeks. Add 12 months of Xbox Live Gold to your membership. I won't be doing that till October. Have at least 100 hours logged playing the Gears of War franchise. I must have that. I must have that, because when I got these games, I played them till I bled.
But anyway, so there you go, you gamers. Help your friends out with beta codes. Let's see, we got IE9 can't stop Microsoft browser slump, and this is coming from our good friends over at Computer World.
So what is the damage now? Firefox dropped 0.2% to 21.6.
Now, here's the thing. IE9 accounted for 2.4% of all browsers, a 1.4 increase, nearly 3 times March's gain. The surge is fueled by the upgrade for Windows 7 users, but at the same time, there was a drop of 1.4 for the older IE8.
Well, if it's 1.4 down for IE9 and 1.48 or 1.4, no, sorry, 1.4 up for IE9 and 1.4 down for
2.4 up for all browsers.
No, but it was a 1.4 point increase.
Yeah.
So it's kind of negative math, you know, minus 1.4 plus 1.4, 0.
Yep.
No change.
Yep.
It's just a versioning number. Because you know what? You see, this is what really kind of pisses me off, right? They lump IE numbers in together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no, they separate IE numbers out, but they lump Firefox numbers in together.
Yeah. But, you gotta admit, the negative math gave them a good headline.
Well, look, here's the thing. Folks, it's a competitive browser market out there now. You have... The browser market is going to... it's going to dilute. You've got so many challengers out there now. You've got Firefox, you've got Chrome, you've got IE, you've got Safari as the default browser on iPad and crap like that. It's no longer a real one-horse race.
No.
And, Chrome is making great inroads. Everyone's looking at the expense of Chrome and its variants, such as, what's the Facebook type? Rockmelt.
Yeah.
Flock's
gone.
Everybody's losing at the expense of Chrome. There's going to be a continued dilution across the board until everything stabilizes.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it's going to be. Get used to it. It's not headline worthy.
Yeah. This next one, we talked about this pre-show, and the headline is Microsoft consumer failure actually developer failure?
Yeah, this is about developer tools. Now, I recommend first off that everybody go along to nerdblog.com
and give it a read.
The link is in the show notes, okay? You may have a different take on this based on your own experience of Microsoft developer tools versus Apple developer tools. This really is, a lot of this is a matter of personal preference. But one point that he does bring up in the blog post that you can't sort of put down to personal preferences, the question of whether or not Microsoft is messing things up by the barrier to entry, to actually shipping products to consumers, costing so much. At a basic level, if you want to really ship products to consumers, you're talking about, about 11 grand to get in on Microsoft ship. It's versus 100 with Apple.
You have two options with Microsoft development tools. You can go the express route, which is limited in what you can do. You can still produce good apps. I've done it, all right, but you still have limits. Or you can go the industrial strength route, which is going to cost you your 11 grand. There is no middle ground that gives a developer who wants to earn an income from being able to produce good quality tools, pump them out on Xbox Live or Windows Phone 7 or the App Store when it comes, the Windows Store when it comes out. But it's not just that. There's also the additional cost. If you're a web developer, you've got your tools. Then on top of that, you've got your hosting, and any Windows hosting is going to cost you more money.
Yeah, and you've also got things then as well, like, when you download Microsoft developer tools, you would think that would mean you could develop everything, but you can't. If you want to go away and, say, develop games for Xbox, you have to download a whole other massive SDK on top of that. And it's just that the barriers are too complicated, I think. And as this guy points out, within Xcode, you can decide what version of Apple's operating system you want to deploy to, or to all. And it takes care of that in the background. Whereas with Microsoft, there's no such luxury. You have to, figure this out yourself for each and every platform. Yeah. And as we move, we know Microsoft is sort of developer-orientated and wants you to have this kind of write once, deploy everywhere. But they're not making it as easy as it could be. The barriers for entry are too high, and there's a lot of talented hobbyist developers that could be doing a lot more. And the side point of this is that what Apple is doing is the tools are relatively cheap but very high quality. Yeah. Okay? Now, whether or not you like Apple's style, that has got nothing to do with this, okay? If you like Apple's style over Microsoft style, it's not a matter of function or form. It's just focusing on the entry to actually doing this. They ship their tools cheap, but they're very good. Yeah. Microsoft ships the best at really, really expensive prices. But Apple makes the money back by having a lot more people, by getting their cut off the apps, and et cetera, where Microsoft is making its money by selling these big tools to big companies. And you have to wonder whether or not that is hurting. For example, there's 15,000 apps on Windows Phone 7. Yeah. Right? How many would there be if the barrier was that much lower?
That's the whole. I don't even want to go down that road, because I take a look at the App Store on Windows Phone 7. It's like, what is this crap?
No, let's not talk about the quality of the apps.
I know.
The question is, how many more apps would there be if the barrier was lower? Yeah. If it cost less and you could produce better and deploy across different things. We know that they want you to develop in Silverlights. We're probably going to see Silverlight. We're going to see Silverlight coming to the Xbox for app development. They're going to want you to write once, develop everywhere. But they might have to turn around and say, look, we need to produce kind of more user-friendly developer tools that have a much lower cost of entry. Bite the bullet on losing money there, but make the money back in app sales. Speaking of app sales, isn't there? What's going on with the Windows 8 App Store? You had something about that.
It was came out over the weekend. Apparently, the so-called App Store is not going to be the App Store in Windows 8. It's going to be called the Windows Store.
Is this because of the trademark box?
Who knows? Who knows?
Amazon is on board fighting that now, and
I think Microsoft's probably just covering its bases, because it's in development work for Windows 8. It doesn't want to be facing a possible legal action from Apple that could stall it. So I think this was just
is coming back.
Huh?
I also heard something else was coming back in Windows 8. You wrote about it, and it...
No, I didn't. WinRumors did. Windows Ultimate. Windows Ultimate may be returning to Windows 8. I wrote about this.
I bought the Ultimate Edition of Windows Vista. I had Windows Vista Ultimate. And you know what benefit it gave me for any other version?
I had it too.
Do you know what added features it had?
None.
None. Do you know all those extras that you paid for that were supposed to come later?
None.
Never came. Where's my effing refund, Microsoft?
When this was, I wrote this about this when this was happening, and I recommended to everybody in the post: do not spend the money on Windows Vista Ultimate version at all. It's not worth the money.
When I got it, nobody knew that the add-ons that they promised would come after release weren't going to come.
I'll bet you if you search the WinExtra archives for Vista, okay, you'll find posts of mine almost from launch day saying, "Don't buy it."
I really wanted those. Here's the question. Where's my refund? Part of the sales pitch for Ultimate was that these extras were coming and they would be provided. You were paying for these extras that would be launched ongoing.
Yeah.
They never came.
No.
We should have gotten money back for that.
Yes, we should have. Like all of it.
Yeah, or they can just send us a free Windows Phone 7.
Speaking of Windows Phone 7, apparently now and developers too, Microsoft has released an API mapping tool for developers to allow you to create apps or port your apps from iOS to Windows Phone 7.
Yeah, so if you have the money to play in the Windows Phone 7 development field, and you're currently developing for iOS, this is an API mapping reference. Think of it as as one of those little travel language dictionaries that you take with you. And, you know, the Germans are coming. You can look up Germans and you look up your API call and it gives you, like, code examples that are transferable, you know, from iOS to, you know, C# and all that sort of stuff. And just makes it really, really easy, well, easier to port your apps without having to become intimately knowledgeable of the Windows Phone 7 API environment.
Yeah. Now, last but quickly here, we've got looks to be a Windows Phone 7 tablet from Gigabyte coming at some point. It's
yeah, this thing is already on sale, by the way. In where is it on sale? It's been on sale in Taiwan since about the middle of April, and I don't know if this is an iPad competitor, but it is just a sleek little Windows 7 tablet. It's fairly kind of run-of-the-mill in terms of its specs until you get to the connectors. Specs-wise, the S1080 is 10-inch, 1024 by 600 resolution display, dual-core Atom N550 processor, and a 320 gig hard drive with Windows 7 pre-installed. But where this thing really shines is that it has two optical mice connectors on controllers, on either side of the tablet for thumb use. Figure that one out. Right? It also comes with a USB 3 connector, SD card reader, Ethernet port, 1.3 megapixel webcam, the usual Wi-Fi, .11n, VGA port for those who are, still stuck in that corporate environment where they have you still using CRT monitors. And it's supposed to clock in at about the $700 range. It's going past the, FCC for certification at the moment. So that's an interesting thing. Can we just go back a little on the show notes? Because I wanted to bring something up. We completely sort of ignored this while we were talking about the Windows 8 App Store.
Yeah.
That bloody logo. Was it made by a kindergartner? That seriously is supposed to be the logo for the Windows 8 App Store? Who got paid millions to fart that out in 5 minutes? That is the most horrid, disgusting, useless-looking logo I've seen in a long time.
Okay, we do have one bit of feedback from J-Dog C. Came in through SMS. Why doesn't Microsoft sell just one all-encompassing version of Windows 8 like Apple does with every release? Simple answer, enterprise. They make their money from the enterprise.
Yeah, you see, Apple doesn't make an enterprise-level operating system. They make a consumer operating system. And there's many features in your stock sort of Windows Home Edition, or not in your Windows Home Edition, that are in enterprise. That are used.
I think one of the things is a more extended networking capabilities.
Lots more extended networking capabilities and that kind of thing. And also, Apple does make its other versions, but Apple has gone the route of actually making a complete other operating system, iOS. Right? Windows, you get, they've got Starter for what is supposedly really, really low-powered machines. But anybody who's running a machine that low-powered, seriously, what's wrong with you?
Get your Ubuntu.
No, do not. Even the notebook edition of Ubuntu, you want to have at least 2 gigs of memory in there, or you're not going to have. And even at that, you're still not going to have a nice experience. Okay. They try to tailor features and stuff to different markets, to different machine aspects, machine sizes. But ultimately, the real reason is. Because, in honesty, they only need 2 versions. They need Home and Enterprise. The real reason for all the different versions is money. When manufacturers want to ship dirt cheap machines, they want a lower cost version of Windows to run on it. They still want to be able to say it's running Windows 7 for the consumer that doesn't know any better. But they don't have to pay so much as an OEM to Microsoft. For that version, they still get to say it's Windows 7, and everybody wins, except the consumer in that respect. So at the end of the day, it's all about making money, and realistically, all that Microsoft needs in the Windows is 2, possibly 3.
3? Server,
Well, no, let's just stick with the desktop, right? They need an Enterprise, Home, and let's say a tablet. And that's it.
Okay, on that note, folks, if you have any comments about today's show, drop them by podcast@winextra.com, or you can leave comments wherever you find the show. We will track them down. Or you can drop us a voicemail at 251-281-8730.
One of these days, you're going to be able to read that out without looking off.
Yes, I know. But on that note, folks, that's Paul. I'm Steve. This has been WinExtra's Daily Brief for May the 2nd, 2011. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.